Hello and welcome to Atlassian DevDay 2023. I'm Keran McKenzie, thrilled to be joining you today. I'm joining you from the slice of heaven in South Australia. I wonder where you're dialing in from. Let us know. We'd love to connect with you. You know what? I've been here at Atlassian a little over 4 months. One of the things I have loved doing is getting out and about and meeting some of our partners in the community. There's an incredible range of talent and caliber across our partner community that share a passion for solving our customers' needs, creating solutions, and co-creating with Atlassian. Before we jump into things though, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for making the time and effort to come and join this event. Virtual or in person, these events are a real treat for us because we do get to connect with you, our community. It's a chance for us to show you what we've been working on. We've got some great stuff coming up, including the continual evolution of Forge, which you're going to want to hang around for. Whether this is your first developer day or one of many, I hope you take away a few things in the next 90 minutes that help you plan your roadmap, understand your customers better, or maybe seize a new opportunity. So for those of you who are attending your very first Atlassian developer event, we're absolutely delighted that you're here. And if you're a newcomer, you might be looking around and wondering, hey, what's all this about? Who are the people behind it? What makes this whole thing tick? Well, let me give you some numbers. The Atlassian Marketplace is made up of more than 6,000 apps. 6,000 amazing apps that solve customer needs. This community that builds these apps is over 17,500 people strong. That's an incredible group of people building and creating on top of Atlassian. The majority of our customers rely heavily on these apps. Over 70% of Jira Software and Confluence Cloud customers have at least one Marketplace app installed. And you know what? All of that adds up to a lot of transactional activity. In January 2023, Atlassian's Marketplace surpassed $3 billion in lifetime sales. You know, it took us 7 years to reach the first $1 billion, 2 years to hit the second billion, and here we are a little over a year later hitting the $3 billion mark. That means our partners have achieved this billion 32% faster. Fantastic! Well, that's a lot of numbers. Let me pause for a moment, give you a sense of scale of the marketplace. Because the numbers aren't actually what's important. It doesn't really tell you what the ecosystem is. See, behind every marketplace app, there are people just like you. And the marketplace provides solutions that our customers rely on. But this is also the livelihood. And that's one thing I've loved getting to know with our partners out on the road. So recently, I had the chance to bring the Easy Agile team into the Sydney office. Easy Agile, one of our partners, based in Wollongong, New South Wales. Their founders, Nick Muldoon and Dave Elkin, are actually ex-Atlassians. They left about 7 years ago to form their own company in the marketplace. Today, they employ over 48 people. They've just won Atlassian's Partner of the Year award in Agile at Scale. And today, they've nearly 10,000 installs across their app portfolio. But what about our customers? And who are they? Well, our customers do incredible things. Work that would be impossible without team collaboration. Our customers find cure for cancer. They travel to space. They build tomorrow's innovations and so much more. Did you know 83% of Fortune 500 companies use Atlassian products? You know, teams like these operate in complex environments. In some cases, they're in highly regulated industries, like government or healthcare. In other cases, their global footprint means that they have to follow strict local regulations governing data and data transfer. Or governing privacy, I should say there, or data transfer. These are the needs that Atlassian is rising to meet in our cloud products. And customers have to apply the same standards to the apps that they install. That's a real challenge, but also a huge opportunity for partners who are prepared to provide what our customers need in the cloud. Let me put myself in your shoes, especially for those of you who are building Atlassian apps. I'd be wondering, well, what's so special about building this moment, this time? Why should I build into the Atlassian ecosystem Now, to answer that question, I'm going to give you a little background on how Atlassian is changing and how those changes trickle down and shape our ecosystem. There's not one change happening, but 3 transformations across all of Atlassian. The first being server to cloud. The second one, enterprise expansion. And finally, product to platform. So let's dive into that first one, migration from server to cloud. We believe that Atlassian Cloud allows us to deliver the best experience for our customers. Cloud customers are there always running the latest versions of our products in Atlassian's secure environment. And Cloud offers streamlined integration across the platform with third-party SaaS products. Cloud customers also benefit from groundbreaking new advances in generative AI that are making their way into our products via Atlassian Intelligence. You may have heard that we're coming up on a very important date, February 15, 2024. This is the date when we'll end support for our server products. Between now and then, server customers have the option of migrating to cloud or data center if they can't move to cloud yet. But there's a very important point to underline here. Data center is a stepping stone for many of our customers. It is not a final destination. And here's what we're seeing. On the cloud front, things are heating up. We're seeing 200% year-on-year growth for cloud migrations from both server and data center. It's a powerful sign for where our customers and where we are heading. And in coming months, more and more enterprise customers will migrate to cloud as we continue to add enterprise-focused improvements across our entire platform. These include features like 50,000 user Confluence instances, more granular data residency controls, and the ability for customers to centrally manage security for their Atlassian Cloud users in a more flexible way. Atlassian Analytics is another example, which is launched into general availability and is now incorporated into the enterprise editions of Jira Software, Jira Service Management, and Confluence. Well, we've been on this cloud journey for a few years, and at this stage, we're seeing larger customers with more complex use cases and stricter requirements. What we're seeing is that these requirements apply to apps as well. Atlassian is delivering a number of features to bring cloud customers more transparency and control when it comes to apps, including more security and privacy details on marketplace listings, and new data access and data residency controls for apps. We're also focused on bringing new tools to better meet customer needs, like data residency across Connect and Forge. Now let's go a little deeper into enterprise, because the expansion of our enterprise business is a transformation in its own right, one that has implication for our app builders. See, enterprise customers are special in a few ways. One is that they typically have highly specialized workflows, and enterprises expect their tools to adapt to them, not the other way around. Well, this creates need for greater customization among enterprise customers. That isn't to say that smaller customers don't matter. That isn't the case at all. The marketplace and our partners serve customers of all sizes. But the marketplace does put partners in an arena where they can sell into these much larger, more complex organizations without a full-scale go-to-market team. The marketplace can streamline the discovery and the sales process when it comes to landing large customers, which can be a game changer for a startup. And that brings us to our third transformation. Atlassian is shifting from a product company to a platform company. Atlassian products are useful as freestanding tools and even more powerful when used together. Now, add in the SaaS integrations, the apps that you build that customers rely on, and this becomes a very powerful experience, critical for many customers across their surface areas. Platformatizing shared components like navigation and identity allow us to provide that standardized, unified experience for customers, helping them to work more effectively. And this unified experience isn't just for customers. Building apps should be just as integrated. When you extend Jira or new cloud products like Compass, the experience should be consistent. In just a bit, I'll go into how we're building this unifying developer platform. Even as our products become more connected, the edges of our cloud platform continually expand, creating new surface areas for developers to come in and innovate. We're already seeing this happen with new API-first products like Compass. And as we move forward, extensibility will remain a core pillar of our platform. We want to bring developers, you, along with us as we go along this platform journey. To circle back to my earlier question, why should you build into the ecosystem now? Well, the answer is this. Atlassian's 3 transformations create evolution, not just in the markets where Atlassian plays, but also in the microcosm of the marketplace. Change is a provocation to create an entirely new opportunity or reinvent your business. If you've been on the sidelines wondering whether you should take charge of your future and launch your big idea, now is your moment. If you've been building in the marketplace for some time, this is your time to reinvent, to sharpen your focus, double down on what makes you unique and what is your offering to customers. So I encourage you, take that fresh look at your business, at your unique value proposition. What unique experience do you bring that makes you able to serve a certain type of customer like no one else can? Maybe you've had years of experience in a certain vertical, like healthcare, and you know what the customer needs inside and out. Maybe it's deep experience or expertise in local privacy regulations or an obsession with application security. How can you leverage your business's unique superpower to continue to innovate and differentiate yourself? I want to leave you with 3 pieces of practical advice. Atlassian's transformations are a gateway. We're inviting you to seize that moment and that opportunity. There are 3 things you can do to align yourself with where Atlassian and our customers are going. Invest in cloud, invest in compliance standards, and invest in data residency. Let's start with investing in cloud. We've already talked about what cloud means for Atlassian's future, but how does that relate to ecosystem? Well, for one, we see that cloud apps are a critical piece of the migration puzzle for our customers. We're seeing an 84% increase in app migration assessments, which is an indicator that migrating customers are keen to bring their apps with them on the journey. Customers want to keep their total solution as they move to the cloud. But migration is only one piece. The real win is positioning yourself ahead of where the future growth will come from. Over 99% of new customers are choosing one or more cloud products. Investing in cloud is investing in your business. The second piece of advice I have for you is this: invest in compliance standards. We are increasingly hearing from our customers that compliance standards are a priority for the apps they install. These standards signal that an external auditor has assessed the security posture of both the organization and the technology behind the app. Many of you will have heard of ISO 27001, GDPR, SOC 2, and regional standards like HIPAA or FedRAMP. With so many compliance certifications out there, how should you think about where to invest? Well, we recently ran a survey across our enterprise customers and asked them which compliance standards mattered most to them. And a few patterns started to emerge. We can map the demand for these standards across their market sizes. In Tier 1, you have global industry-wide standards, ISO 27001, SOC 2 and 3, SOC 2 and 3, GDPR. These are the most requested by our customers and the first standards you should really consider. Then in Tier 2, you have standards used by many industries, but specific to certain spaces. Finally, you have standards that are regionally or industry specific. HIPAA, FedRAMP. And it makes sense for you to target these according to your customer base and your customer needs. The bottom line is, the broader your standard, the larger the market opens up for you. And finally, invest in data residency for apps that store data outside of Atlassian. Atlassian serves customers around the globe, and many of these customers are required to store data in the same jurisdiction where they do business. This requirement is known as data residency. And we've made great progress in providing data residency in our core products, and customers can now pin their data to 5 geographic regions with more on the way. However, we know that customers need data residency for their entire solution, which includes your apps. In a survey of enterprise cloud customers conducted by Atlassian, 80% stated that the apps meeting their data residency requirements is very or extremely important. To help partners meet that, we've offered APIs and services to support round migration and pinning for Connect apps. These combined capabilities allow you to support a more complete solution for your customers. To help customers fully benefit from the investments in this area, we launched a new beta UI that lets admins see which apps offer data residency and request round migration for apps that offer it. As you plan your roadmap for the coming year, I'd encourage you to talk to your customers, think about your target audience and market, and how does this align to your strategy. Invest in data residency for your existing Connect apps and think about this for your future Forge apps. We know that many of you build on Forge, and we're building in new ways to handle data residency for Forge, and we're targeting March 2024 to deliver this for those. It's fairly straightforward to see these 3 recommendations laddering up to our 2 transformations, server to cloud and expanding with enterprise. But what about platform? How are our developer tools evolving to meet that transformation? Well, to understand the current state, we have to look at what has come before. In the early days of cloud, when we were firmly a product company, our original cloud developer platform served us well. For those of you newer to the Atlassian platform, that was called Connect. Customers today rely on many, many valuable apps that run on Connect platform. But as Atlassian converges into a platform, we need to think differently. And Forge is the developer platform that will get us to this global level extensibility. Let me give you a quick explainer. And bear with me while I get into how the developer platform sausage is made. When Connect was built 8 years ago, it was tightly coupled to each product: Jira, Confluence, Bitbucket. Each one has a slightly different flavor of Connect, implemented as a Java library and bundled directly into the product codebases. That's why the experience of building with Bitbucket Connect feels different from Connect for Jira. This has had an impact on developer experience, and it's also made it tough for Connect to keep up with our expanding cloud platform. Forge, on the other hand, is decoupled from our product codebases. It's a true horizontal platform layer. When it's time to make a new product like Bitbucket or Compass extensible via Forge, it can be done in a repeatable and standardized way. This opens the door to create a consistent developer experience across the entire Atlassian platform and more products for developers to extend on over time. In addition, the platform approach allows Atlassian to provide more of what developers need through Forge while reducing the overhead of providing costly and complex capabilities. Today, those out-of-the-box platform features include storage, runtime, and secure infrastructure. In the future, it will enable us to provide value-added features like data residency at substantially lower startup costs for partners. Forge has been and continues to evolve, and we're excited to discuss today how you can capitalize on your Connect investment with Forge. We've heard your feedback, and we're changing our approach to prevent platform lock-in and provide you with greater flexibility on how you build your apps. We've also heard your requests to strengthen Forge and make it more robust. So first, I want to tell you about several foundation improvements that bring Forge to a new level of maturity as a platform. By the time you're watching this, 2 new features will be production ready, and these address some of the most pressing feedback we've heard from Forge users. UIKit version 2 offers a new client-side React-based runtime. You'll notice familiar developer experience and snappier interactivity such as dynamic form validation. And soon, UIKit version 2 will also include new styling capabilities and layout components. Storage updates, enabling the creation of custom data entities and more complex queries. We're targeting production readiness for this feature by the time you're watching this. I also want to tell you about 2 other features that sit just a little bit further out, but you can get your hands on soon as early access participants. The first is a newly redesigned Forge runtime, which will increase performance and make Forge compatible with standard Node.js libraries. We're kicking this EIP off in June, and we plan to have a new runtime ready for developer preview release in October. This means it'll be ready for production usage. We're already seeing promising results from our tests, including no more isolation layer setup costs, saving about 150 milliseconds and 50% reduction in cold start costs. The second, multi-user app ownership. This will enable team development for Forge apps. With multi-user, teammates can collaborate in different environments at the same time. No more sharing credentials. You can invite and manage collaborators on your Forge app. This feature is currently in a closed EAP, and we expect to open it up to more users very soon. As much as we believe these features will improve the experience of developers using Forge, let me be direct. These are table stakes. As I mentioned earlier, we need to think bigger about how Forge can be the vehicle for empowering innovation. We need to bring all of the value that exists today on Connect and bring it into Forge. And I'm excited to give you an early look at this vision. To date, developers and partners have had to choose between these 2 distinctly separate developer platforms. On one hand, you have their flexibility of bringing your own infrastructure with Connect, and on the other hand, you have an out-of-the-box experience that comes with Forge. There's been a divide between the capabilities that partners host themselves and apps that are operated on Atlassian's hosted infrastructure. This has created situations where there are workarounds or trade-offs that are necessary. And we believe that those type of trade-offs shouldn't be necessary when you decide how to build your apps. In the future, developers will be able to choose from the best of both platforms. Connect and Forge will become mutually compatible. In this evolution, the platform decisions that you make today won't create barriers for future innovation or wasted effort. We'll protect the investments you've already made in Connect, and we're building a 2-way bridge that allows you to maintain that investment while leveraging new enhancements that will flow into Forge. I'm excited to tell you that we've taken the first steps towards making this a reality with a new feature we're currently calling Forge Remote. It extends the existing concept of remote domains in Forge, allowing you to securely integrate a Forge app with off-Atlassian backend services. With this ability, you can build Forge apps that process heavy workloads connected to specialized infrastructure and integrate with other SaaS tools. All use cases that used to only be possible with Connect. Over time, we intend to make remote and hosted capabilities more interoperable, so that developers don't need to make these difficult trade-offs. You can choose the modules and infrastructure that make sense for you on a single, flexible developer platform. I know what you're thinking. When can you expect to get your hands on this? Well, Forge Remote will unfold over multiple milestones in the next 12 months, but you can sign up for the early access program right now if you're interested in helping us test this out. And I want to say a huge thank you to everyone who's already provided feedback on the RFC in the community forums. Well, it's time for me to wrap things up, but I want to leave you with a couple of final takeaways. Look at the marketplace and see where you can carve out your unique niche. Know your customers, know the value you provide them, and use that to your best advantage. Invest in cloud and use Forge where it makes sense. This will help you align where Atlassian is going as a platform. Create strong trust for your app. Differentiate through selling points like data residency and compliance certifications. We certainly find ourselves in interesting times full of changes and opportunities. The partnership between Atlassian and our partners is strong, and I'm excited to see what we will do together in the future. In a moment, you're going to hear from partners who are out there leading the charge. So why don't I hand it over to Adaptivist, Appfire, and Seabit Media for a panel on discussing how they build complex apps in Forge. See ya!